Hey everybody, it's Haneke here, and today I would like to talk about camp pets. As we know, Bethesda isn't going to give us any proper camp pets anytime soon, so here are 3 ways that you can get a camp pet at your camp. The first way is you can get a robot pet. Available to us are the Fetch Collectron dog, which can only be purchased from Samuel, the gold vendor at Foundation, for 4,000 gold at ally reputation level. The other robot pet that you can get is the animatronic black cat, which is sometimes offered in the Atom shop, usually around Halloween. The next way to get a pet in your camp is to build on an existing animal spawn location. I previously made a video about this, and if you have a look at the link above, it will teach you exactly how to go to the places where these animals exist and to have these pets as part of your camp. And the final way to get a pet is to tame a wild creature. Now that's what this video is about today. So let's go and learn how to tame a wild creature to have at your camp. So where can I find a wild creature to tame? Well, you can't just tame any old wild creature. It has to be at a special spawn point. Now here is a map. I will put the link in the description so that you can look at the big version of the map. And on this map you can see, I believe it's 85 different spawn points of the scene kind, which is the red dots on this big map that you've probably seen before as part of the Fallout wiki. So tameable animals will only spawn at the scene locations on this map. I've gone around to most of them to have a look, and I did find tameable animals at some of them, not all of them. Again, these are random spawn points, so you won't always find an animal. Quite often, more often, you'll find things that aren't animals, like robots, humans, mannequins, all sorts of little scenes. But if you keep checking the spawn points and keep jumping servers and checking, sooner or later you will come across a tameable animal. So how do you tame these tameable animals when you find them? Previously it was more complicated, but in a recent update, Bethesda has made it a bit more simple. Previously you needed 2 perk cards and some camp budget and a certain level of charisma, but that was in the past, and now you don't need most of those things. What you do need is the animal friend card at level 3. The animal friend card is the one that allows you to tame animals. Previously you also needed the Wasteland Whisperer card in order to tame high level animals. Well, no more. That one has been discontinued and you don't need it at all. Now, what are the different animals that you can tame? Well, here is a chart from the Fallout wiki. You can see a variety of different animals with a percentage number afterwards. Now, I believe that the percentage refers to how often that animal has a chance to spawn, and as you can see, things like the Deathclaw and Megasloth actually have a much higher chance to spawn than things like the house cat or the attack dog or the beaver. And that's why you see so many of them at people's camps, because the Deathclaw and Megasloth are actually easier to get. According to the Fallout wiki, when you come up to these animals, you're supposed to use a gun with no scope, with either an iron sight or a reflex sight, in order to set off the ability to tame. Well, I quite often use my camera, so the camera does actually count as a weapon, so do melee weapons. And you don't have to be holding it in front of you, you can holster it and that will still count. If you walk up to the animal, as long as the prerequisites are in place, which is it has to be at a particular random spawn point, it has to be a single animal that spawns with no other animals or creatures near it, and it has to be passive to you and not trying to attack. If those prerequisites are in place, you should be able to walk up to it and the tame option will come up. As you can see here, it just comes up. So what happens when you do tame your animal? When you go up to the animal and it gives you the option to tame, and you press E, it will bring up a different dialog box that says send this animal to your camp. It will replace any current animal that you have tamed. You press send to camp and the animal will run off in the direction of your camp. Now the animal is actually going to cross the map in real time. It's not going to just fast travel, it's going to run towards your camp. It's very important that you don't try and follow the animal. If it runs off by itself, it won't spawn any animals that could kill it. However, if you go with it, you will spawn animals that will attack, and they very likely will damage your new pet. So it's better to just let it go by itself, and 9 times out of 10 it will reach your camp unharmed. Once it does get to your camp, there's a few things you need to keep in mind. While the animal is part of your camp, it is protected if you are in pacifist mode. If you're in pacifist mode, other players cannot attack you, and they also cannot attack your animal or your camp. That being said, the animals can be killed by the environment. They can be killed by other creatures and by things like radiation. Your animal will be tethered to your camp machine. It will walk backwards and forwards according to the position where your camp machine is. So it's important to take your camp machine and move it to the edge of your property so that the animal is not too close to the buildings, because when you spawn into a new server, the animal will probably spawn before your house does, and if it is under the position where your house is, it could quite likely get stuck under the house and crushed. Well, that's everything for this video. I think I've covered just about everything. If I have not covered everything, please ask me some questions and I will answer them in the comments. Thank you very much for watching my video. I do appreciate it. I hope to catch you in my next video, which will be out soon, and until then, I will see you around Appalachia. This is Haneke signing out.